At the Tokyo History Museum, a janitor is working when he suddenly sees a giant shadow. It appears and disappears quickly like the wind, which makes him curious. Mr. Takagawa, the manager there, notices that the employee is not working, so he becomes extremely annoyed. The janitor is unfocused, undisciplined, and disrespectful, so Mr. Takagawa takes him to see the black samurai armor. If you keep behaving like this, one day your soul will be corrupted just like the black samurais. Right after Mr. Takagawa finishes speaking, a sudden gust of wind rushes in and enters the armor. The black samurai ghost has officially returned. Do something. Listening to Mr. Takagawa, the janitor rushes forward to fight the black samurai ghost with only a broom. The result is no surprise. He fails miserably and allows the ghost to escape. Meanwhile, Mystery Inc. is on its way to Tokyo. But this time they don't have the legendary mystery machine. Instead, they travel by subway. Tokyo, the capital of Japan, is one of the largest and most vibrant cities in the world. It is famous for its blend of traditional and modern culture, and it is also the political, economic, and cultural center of the country. This time Mystery Inc. comes here because Daphne is invited to the prestigious Miramoto Academy to take part in a martial arts tournament. Daphne's friend Mayumi arranges to meet the group at the statue of the dog Hachiko. Hachiko is known for his great loyalty to his owner. After his owner suddenly passed away, he continued to go to Shibuya Station to wait, even though his master would never return. When Scooby-Doo sees Hachiko's statue, he wishes to have one of his own. Suddenly Mayumi appears from behind and says that if Scooby-Doo wants to be like Hachiko, he has to become a legend. She then immediately takes Mystery Incorporated aboard a spaceship to admire the beauty of Japan. They don't expect that things here are so advanced that self-piloted spaceships are already in use. Meanwhile, at Miramoto Academy, Mr. Takagawa is reporting to the head Miss Miramoto about the return of the Black Samurai. The wheel of fate will continue to turn, but Miss Miramoto thinks he is joking. Although he tries to caution her, she simply brushes it aside. I assure you the scroll of fate will be safe here. On the other hand, Mystery Inc. already arrives at Miramoto Academy. Welcoming Scooby-Doo and Shaggy is the giant Sojo, who personally dresses both of them in uniforms. When it is Daphne's turn, she is able to dress herself, and she even manages to throw Sojo down. After that, Mystery Inc. is led on a tour around the academy. This year's martial arts tournament is expected to be extremely fierce because contestants from different countries join. The champion from Ireland, Carrie, can easily smash through a pile of bricks. Next is Sonia from France, famous for her deadly kicks. Lastly, there is Mad Dog Masumoto, a strong candidate for the championship. When Scooby-Doo sees another dog, he immediately offers a bone to strengthen their bond. Shaggy, however, is shocked to realize that Mad Dog Masumoto truly lives up to his nickname. Then Miss Miramoto gives a speech to welcome those who have the honor of participating in the martial arts tournament. The best martial artists from all around the world have gathered at Miramoto Academy with one purpose only: to prove themselves to be the greatest, otherwise they will have to return home in humiliating defeat. One of you has already shown her strength by defeating Sojo. Let me introduce Miss Daphne. After saying that, Miss Miramoto immediately invites Daphne to spar with Mayumi. The two sides quickly take their stances, and Mayumi is the one who strikes first. When she sees Daphne block her opening move, Mayumi immediately launches a relentless series of attacks. The two keep trading blows back and forth, not realizing that their fight is being watched. Even though they are evenly matched, Mayumi does not hesitate to use underhanded tactics to win. Daphne refuses to accept such dirty tricks, but Mayumi declares that the first rule of Miramoto Academy is this: if you want to win, you must be willing to do what others are not willing to do. Even though Daphne loses, Miss Miramoto still praises her as a strong warrior. The martial arts tournament will take place tomorrow, so tonight everyone enjoys a lavish feast. As the sun sets, the contestants dine while also experiencing the beauty of Japanese culture. Fred wonders who the women serving them are, and Velma immediately explains that they are geisha, traditional Japanese artists famous for their skills in singing, dancing, and playing instruments. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy care only about the food. They even show off some tricks just to get more into their mouths. But none of them expect the sudden arrival of ninjas. The intruders quickly attack the banquet, throwing everything into chaos. Carrie declares that he will fight the ninjas, but he is instantly knocked aside. Sonia tries next, but she fares no better. Finally comes Mad Dog Masumoto. Yet before he can show anything, he is spun around like a pinwheel. Meanwhile, Mystery Inc. is surrounded, and the Black Samurai himself appears. Realizing the danger, the team immediately splits up to escape. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy stick together, but along the way they spot food, so they transform into sumo wrestlers and charge back at the ninjas. After finishing them off, they return to their usual skinny selves, but the black samurai already has his eyes on them. He gives chase and the two instantly disguise themselves as geisha. The trick does not work as the black samurai keeps slashing madly. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy dash outside but are immediately surrounded on all sides. With no other choice, they leap off the balcony and transform into birds to fly away. But a dog's strength has its limits, and Scooby-Doo quickly grows exhausted. Now standing before Scooby-Doo and Shaggy is the black samurai himself, and the two can only freeze in silence. It turns out he has found the scroll of fate. Just then Miss Miramoto arrives in time to stop him. Both sides draw their swords and clash. Miss Miramoto quickly creates distance, pulls out an extra blade and seizes the advantage. With no weapon left in hand, the black samurai is forced to retreat in humiliation. He vows to return for revenge once he has unlocked the secret of the scroll of fate. After that, Mystery Inc. begins investigating the true purpose of the black samurai, but Mr. Takagawa insists there is no mystery at all, because it is simply the legend of the black samurai, a story told for centuries. The legend begins thousands of years ago, when fierce warriors known as samurai served the lords of Japan with absolute loyalty. Yet one samurai loses his master and becomes a ronin. With nowhere to go, he seeks out the famous swordsmith Masamune. Masamune agrees to forge him a sword, but it will take a full year to complete. Meanwhile, Masamune's apprentice, the cruel-hearted Miramoto, offers to forge another blade for the ronin in only half a year. Having no other choice, the ronin accepts, but he does not realize that the sword contains a dark power beyond control. Miramoto's evil spirit flows into the blade itself, turning it into a cursed weapon of destruction, and thus the black samurai is born. Half a year later, Masamune completes his own sword. He names it the Sword of Fate and entrusts it to a green dragon. Then heaven and earth shake as the Sword of Doom and the Sword of Fate collide. But justice always prevails and the green dragon defeats the black samurai. It seals him forever inside the Sword of Doom. Centuries pass and the story becomes legend. But for Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, it feels like nothing less than a nightmare. The Scroll of Fate is the only clue that leads to the Sword of Doom. If the black samurai manages to decipher the ancient riddle on the scroll, the world will face a terrible disaster. Fortunately, Miss Miramoto stays one step ahead, letting the black samurai steal a fake scroll while she hides the real one. The black samurai will soon realize that what he stole is fake, so we must decipher the real scroll and get ahead of him as quickly as possible. Everyone immediately begins trying to solve the riddle. While Scooby-Doo and Shaggy become absorbed in folding paper, Velma quickly notices that the green dragon is actually pointing to origami, the Japanese art of paper folding, so she gives the scroll of fate to Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. A paper dragon rises from the scroll, carrying the words, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Velma searches on her laptop and discovers the 1,000-Step Temple, an ancient ruin hidden on a remote jungle island in the South Pacific. Even more, the temple is dedicated to the green dragon. The Sword of Doom must be there. Miss Miramoto orders Sojo to prepare the plane, assigns Mayumi to accompany Mystery Inc. in her place, and Mr. Takagawa joins as their interpreter. Soon everyone boards the plane and sets off. Before long, they arrive at the 1,000-Step Temple. Instead of flying straight to the top, they choose to walk up each stair to show respect for the sacred place. The green dragon emblem at the main gate confirms they are on the right path. They move quickly inside to look for clues, but Shaggy accidentally flips a hidden switch. The ceiling lantern lights up and a map spreads across the wall. Secret words drop from the dragon's mouth, and Mr. Takagawa reads aloud another riddle. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy notice that they are not alone. Locals suddenly appear and surround the group. Fred tries to greet them with kindness, but he is immediately caught and thrown into a pot. The men will be cooked for food while the women are chosen as sacrifices. Velma seizes a moment when the chief looks away and whispers to Mayumi to grab her bag. She has a plan to save them all. Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy complain that these natives have no idea how to cook, so they eagerly volunteer to demonstrate what true culinary art is. They even trick the chief himself into sitting inside the pot to follow their instructions step by step. Even though the food tastes awful, Scooby-Doo forces himself to act as if it is delicious, but the natives soon realize something is wrong and leap out of the pot in anger. Just as Scooby-Doo and Shaggy face danger, Velma remotely pilots a drone to frighten the villagers away. The group quickly boards the drone craft and continues their quest. The next stop is a waterfall crowned by a dragon's head. It turns out the secret words falling from the dragon's mouth were pointing here all along. They enter through the dragon's jaws and find themselves surrounded by terrifying stone statues. The deeper they go, the sooner they reach the Sword of Doom itself. As soon as Mayumi lifts it from its pedestal, the statues begin to move. Everyone scrambles to escape when suddenly the Black Samurai appears. Thanks to you, I finally reclaim my sword. Just then he dives down to seize the Sword of Doom. Now the group must flee while dodging deadly traps. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy are chased by two massive boulders, but at the last second they leap into the dragon's eye sockets and narrowly escape, while the Black Samurai flies toward everyone. They quickly dodge to the sides. His mask finally falls off and the truth is revealed. It is Sojo. Velma immediately explains everything. Sojo deliberately steals the Black Samurai's armor from the museum and uses a mini jetpack to soar through the air like a ghost. His plan is to bring back the image of the Black Samurai to frighten everyone away from the martial arts tournament, so that he alone can claim the Scroll of Fate and search for the Sword of Doom. But what no one expects is that Sojo is actually acting under the orders of Miss Miramoto. The one behind it all turns out to be none other than the head of Miramoto Academy herself. Now the group realizes that the ninja army is not human at all but a legion of combat robots. The martial arts tournament is nothing but an excuse for me to gather the world's greatest fighters, so I can copy their techniques into my ninja army. But since I cannot decipher the Scroll of Fate, I invited you here. Surprise follows surprise when Mayumi, out of loyalty, turns her back on Mystery Inc. Tomorrow under the full moon, I will resurrect the Black Samurai from the Sword of Doom. He will serve me as his master and together we will rule this world, seeing there is still a chance. Daphne seizes the moment Miramoto is distracted and kicks the Sword of Doom straight into the hands of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. The last hope now rests on their shoulders, but Miramoto will never let it go so easily. She sends her ninja army to chase them down. The deadly game of cat and mouse unfolds in the sky. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy struggle to dodge the endless attacks, but very soon their jetpack runs out of fuel. With no other choice, they take shelter inside a sushi restaurant. The kind-hearted owner serves them soup with a smile. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Matsuhiro and this is the menu of my shop. But their moment of rest does not last. The ninja army tracks them down. As soon as Matsuhiro sees the sword in Shaggy's hand, he recognizes it as the Sword of Doom. The truth comes out that before becoming a sushi shop owner, he once lived as a samurai. With his unmatched skill, he quickly defeats the entire ninja force. Yet in one careless moment, Shaggy loses the Sword of Doom to their enemies. Meanwhile, the rest of the gang is trapped in a locked room, desperately searching for a way out. Fred keeps banging on the door but nothing works, until suddenly the janitor stumbles in, swaying happily to music, not realizing that he has just saved the day. At the same time, Matsuhiro takes Scooby-Doo and Shaggy to Mount Fuji to begin their training. The first lesson of becoming a samurai is to overcome your own fear by emptying your mind. A samurai never hesitates to act. No fear, no anger, no doubt, and certainly no lunch break. Soon Scooby-Doo and Shaggy achieve their first results, but their journey has only just begun. The two must now pass through 4 elemental gates: earth, air, fire, and water. With each gate they cross, their spirits are purified. Their path leads them to the ancient place where the legend of the two swords, the Sword of Doom and the Sword of Fate, is told. Only by passing through all 4 gates can they reach the lair of the Green Dragon. Their Scooby-Doo and Shaggy must awaken the creature from its eternal slumber to claim the Sword of Fate. After enduring the trials of earth, air, and fire, they finally arrive at the Gate of Water. As soon as the two rise to the surface, they find themselves at the lair of the Green Dragon. Who dares to set foot in my sacred forest? Do you wish for death? Shaggy steps forward and declares, I am Shogun Shaggy and this is my loyal samurai Scooby-Doo. We come here because the Sword of Doom has been found, and the Black Samurai will soon return. The world is in danger and we need your help. The Green Dragon stares straight at them, questioning whether these two could truly be samurai. Though it seems hard to believe, he transforms their clothes into full samurai armor. Then he entrusts them with the Sword of Fate and sends them off to battle. Meanwhile, Miramoto begins her ritual to resurrect the Black Samurai. She chants her incantations while placing Sojo in the proper position, but at the very last moment, Mayumi betrays her and turns against the plan. Daphne shouts an encouragement, but her voice accidentally exposes the whole group. The ninja army rushes in. Velma quickly tells the janitor to activate the device that disables the power system. But its effect is far beyond what she imagines. It plunges the entire city into darkness. Mayumi tries to protect the Sword of Doom, but against an experienced warrior like Miramoto, she is swiftly defeated. With her rival out of the way, Miramoto completes her plan and commands Sojo to begin the resurrection ritual. "Bow down before your master," she cries, but she does not expect the Black Samurai's power to be so overwhelming that even she cannot control him. "All of you will kneel and serve me for eternity." As he wreaks havoc, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy arrive with the green dragon. The dragon merges his spirit into the Sword of Fate, guiding them for the final battle. Now standing before the Black Samurai are Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. No longer clumsy but warriors who have trained and endured. 2 against 1, the fight begins. The Black Samurai charges, only to be struck back at once. He does not realize that the Sword of Fate carries an automatic strike. The clash continues, evenly matched, until Scooby-Doo launches a sudden attack. Shaggy swaps positions with him to take the lead, but in a moment of carelessness, both are knocked into the river. Shaggy quickly channels his energy into his feet, helping Scooby-Doo continue the fight. Yet the Black Samurai is far too strong, forcing them to battle from beneath the river all the way up into the skies. Then a voice echoes in their minds. It is Matsuhiro, and he says, "A true samurai conquers fear only by emptying his mind." Scooby-Doo and Shaggy focus so intently on these words that they are struck hard by the Black Samurai. As he charges at them at the speed of light, Scooby-Doo finally lets go of fear, clears his mind and unleashes a decisive blow. The Sword of Doom shatters. The Black Samurai falls in defeat. Everyone rushes to Scooby-Doo and Shaggy to celebrate their victory. Scooby-Doo steps forward and removes the mask of the Black Samurai, and a weary voice speaks. "Thank you for freeing my soul from the curse of the Sword of Doom." With a peaceful smile, the man's spirit dissolves into the air. The next day, the Tokyo Museum of History holds an opening ceremony, displaying the Black Samurai's armor. To honor Scooby-Doo's courage, Mr. Takagawa, the museum's curator, unveils a statue of him. The crowd bursts into applause for their hero. At long last, Scooby-Doo achieves his dream.